How's it going, everyone? I'm VenomousStare, back with match point of Scarlett versus Jim. Scarlett is currently up 2-0, so it's match point for her. It could be the beginning of a comeback for Jim, but the Chinese player is having a bit of trouble here because whenever he tries to go Nexus first and do something cute, it fails. So now it looks as though he's going Gateway Forge, and he might be trying to cannon rush, and there it is. So Jim's going to break out the cannons in Game 3. In the previous games, he went Nexus first, early scout, fake cannons. In this game, he's going to go Gate, Herp, Forge, which is a bit odd. I don't know why he wouldn't Forge Nexus, but I guess we might find out soon. So the first pylon comes down. This is going to be pretty interesting to see what he does. He's taking a gas, so could he be going Mothership? Is he going to get a Mothership core and do a rush here? And he puts double cannon down. And these are interesting spots. This, of course, has almost no surface area, and this one protects this one. A Zealot is being chronoed out here for Jim, and he might just complete his wall. Cyber Core comes down, and I think he's going to make a Mothership core and walk it over and just try to kill this natural expansion of Scarlett. So the natural finish is Scarlett, of course, sees it now. Like, oh, I knew you were going to do this. So this is kind of why Scarlett opened up Speedling Expand in Game 1, because Jim is known for doing builds like this. We can see Scarlett's Overlord is just now getting to the front door, and she sees, oh, he made a forge. And the Lings are going to actually get out across the map. Now ideally, a good cannon rush will prevent any Lings from escaping. But I mean, that's ideal. A lot of times you see behind the mineral line stuff that won't even touch the ramp. This one, of course, does kind of touch the ramp. But two Lings get out, and it shouldn't really be an issue, to be honest. Jim has made a ton of buildings before his natural, though, so Scarlett's natural dies. She's going Roach, but usually what we see from cannon rushers is they go Pylon, Forge, Nexus, and then Pylon, Forge, Pylon, and then Nexus at home, and then cannons. But Jim elected to go Gate. So now his tech is much quicker, which is definitely nice because he has a Mothership core. But his base is way later, so it's just an interesting trade-off. Scarlett's going one base Roach, the typical, I'm extremely behind his Zerg because I got Cannon Rush, what am I going to do situation. Well, in Legacy of the Void, this is actually way easier than it was to deal with in previous games, because now, instead of being on one base Roach, which is like the shittiest tech ever, you can just make Ravagers, which laugh at cannon rushes and are so useful. Also, if you can't go Ravager, you can go Evo Chamber and then have one Overlord ferry things out. Where, of course, in previous expansions, Overlord drop was 200-200 and required layer. The Scarlett showing that, okay, I lost my natural, whatever, I just made two Ravagers to break that. Which is a bit, I know I keep bringing this up, but as we see an Oracle come out for Jim. In previous expansions, this would have been really irritating. Scarlett would have had to make like a lot of Roaches or a Spine and pull Queens and do a bunch of bullshit. And it was so easy to break up that two cannon contain. It was a matter of making two units, two Ravagers. I guess you can be cute and say that it's a Roach and then a Ravager, but I mean, that's so much easier than in previous expansions, guys. So maybe that's why we don't see Forge openers nearly as much anymore, and it's almost all Gateway. Scarlett's going to start attacking this pylon, and ooh, it almost dies, but here comes the Oracle. It's going to zap one Ravager. It dies a gory death, but ooh, Scarlett's bringing the Queens. That was a premeditated decision because these Queens are slower than Christmas, guys. Natural almost done for Scarlett. Queen on the way in the main. And Scarlett, this is very, very threatening. This pylon's going to die, and suddenly Jim is kind of getting near a supply block. And another Oracle's on the way. The tricky thing about Oracles in defense, it's energy based. Photon Overcharge being kicked up there. Scarlett using these long-range Queens to try to deflect the Mothership core. Zealot just gets obliterated. Another pylon dies. Stuff is in danger of being underpowered here as Jim is very close to supply block, putting up another pylon. Here we go. Photon Overcharge comes down. It looks like Scarlett's going to break Jim, because once this Photon Overcharge goes down, really no DPS at all is going to be left. And the last pylon will fall right before the Oracle finishes, and Scarlett might just sweep Jim here. Get the brooms out for the foreign Zerg, because Jim is getting his doors blown off. Game 1, he got cheesed. In game 2, he got his cheese snuffed out, and then in this game he tried to cannon rush. It kind of succeeded, but then Scarlett said, okay, well, I'm just going to laugh at that and do a Ravager bust. And at this point, Scarlett does have her natural. She's running into the main of Jim, about to take the best of 5, and Scarlett showing truly how to deal with the cheesy Protoss. Cheese them. Deflect your cheese. And then after that, she shows here with the spores. Oracles are going to try to kill drones, but Scarlett is pretty much winning the game on the other side of the map. If we go to units, yeah, she has like no workers, but Jim is about to have no base. Man, Jim GG's. So Scarlett deals with the cheesy Protoss Jim very well. And I love the way that she approached the series too, opening the best of 5 with a very aggressive build that made Jim worried and made him think, wow, Speedling Expand pretty much counters all aggressive early game openers. I might have to do something different. We saw in game 2, he was like, well, I'll go for the Warp Get All In on Whirlwind. Completely snuffed out, even though Scarlett was going for a Ling-based style. And then he went another counter Ling All In, which Scarlett defended with Mass Ling Bane. And here in game 3, Jim went for an aggressive cannon rush, something he was feigning in game 1. And even though he killed the natural, Scarlett was still able to win. So if you enjoyed that replay, you enjoy Scarlett replays, you enjoy StarCraft 2, you need to subscribe to my channel, VenomousStare, right here, and click the little bell notification icon so you don't miss any future videos.